history buffs, ready for a journey back? Look at this encampment. The spirit of 76 is alive.
Freedom of our future. A true patriot savors these moments, but the fight for liberty calls. To the encampment for freedom of our future.
For liberty. This is what American patriotism is all about. Look at these flags. They represent our fight for liberty.
The hour our liberty is at hand. For freedom is brava. Secure our liberty. My fellow patriots, the hour of decision is upon us. Let us march forth with courage to secure our liberty.
Welcome to my colonial home. Today, Del Payne's work captures the spirit of we fight for independence. And our freedom. Greetings from the encampment. The spirit of liberty is strong. We will fight for our rights and our freedom.
Hour is late. We must enact. To the encampment for liberty. Soldiers, the enemy is near. Front line, flapping.
Two active duty soldiers who killed in Operation Inherent Resolve. It's 25-year-old First Lieutenant Tyler James Feehan and 19-year-old Private Isabella Gonzalez.
Meanwhile, the United States retaliating with the 9th straight night of strikes on Iranian military sites.
Alexandria Hoff is at the White House with the latest for us. Alex?
Good morning to you. 19 and 25 years old. That is a hard pill to swallow this morning. But the current air campaign against Iran right now, this is really punishments for the specific IRGC factions that have targeted U.S. air bases, including that base in Jordan that proved to be so deadly. Now, circulating video of what is believed to be those strikes was released by the Associated Press, the Pentagon confirming this weekend that the 2 U.S. service members were killed, leaving a third missing, though unidentified remains have been found. That person is still unidentified at this time. The president, though, is expressing profound grief for this.
Well, we feel very badly, but, you know, those great people, those great patriots are out there fighting that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. But we hit them very hard again tonight. And we did that in honor of the probably three as opposed to 2 great patriots.
The continuation of U.S. strikes focus on IRGC weapons hubs and command centers. As Secretary Rubio speaks to the losses as well.
And it's heartbreaking, and our hearts go out to these families. These are heroes that pay the ultimate price. We also lost a service member in Iraq unrelated to combat. They were decommissioning ammunition, and an accident happened in that process, and they were harmed.
That separate death took place in northern Iraq and occurred, according to the Pentagon, during controlled detonation of an Iranian drone. Now, President Trump is also looking to add more squeeze to Iran financially as well, pressing Republicans to add Iran to a pending Senate bill aimed at Russia. The president writing on Truth Social, Republicans should add Iran to the Russia sanctions bill. That's what Lindsey, he's referencing Lindsey Graham there, wanted to do, and it was going to happen. Important. Now, right now, they are hoping to bring up the Russian sanctions bill before August recess, so we'll see if there is any movement on that, guys. Send it back to you.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Described him as one of the most dangerous men on the face of the earth.
Welcome to the Man Cave. Welcome to the Man Cave. I'm Gray Mars.
85 Slim in the building.
So, Slim, what you think about the whole thing going on in the Middle East with Iran and the soldiers that us losing the soldiers?
I mean, we at war, number one. This war should have been situated. So many peace treaties have been put out there. They ignored a bunch of shit. I'm just kind of like to the point why these dudes ain't backing down. And I'm thinking they may have something up their sleeve because by now they should be backing down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. It seems to be like it's been lasting forever. But
we just learned from the U.S. military
travel
Lucas
in
Tomlinson
Jordan right now.
is in Tel Aviv. He is live with the latest for us. Lucas.
And John, the State Department has just issued a brand new worldwide caution urging Americans to think twice about any travel to the Middle East. It was released just about 40 minutes ago on the travel.gov website. Due to heightened tensions in the Middle East, the security environment remains complex with the potential for unseen escalation. And that's exactly what we saw in neighboring Jordan. John, last night when Iran fired multiple intermediate-range ballistic missiles that made it through U.S. air defense systems, hit a base in Jordan with dozens of U.S. Air Force personnel at the base, F-16s, F-15s, F-35 stealth fighter jets. We know from U.S. Military Central Command that there are at least 2 U.S. service members killed in action. 1 remains missing, as you mentioned. Also, 4 others were wounded. Also want to remind viewers that earlier today, before this news about the recent casualties in Jordan, there were 13 American troops wounded just earlier this week, John, as Iran has stepped up its attacks on neighboring Gulf countries, Bahrain, in Jordan, and certainly in Kuwait, where we saw a desalination plant get hit, a power plant get hit for Kuwaitis drinking water. And why are they attacking Kuwait, John? We have a lot of U.S. assets there. We have U.S. Army firing HIMARS, surface-to-surface missiles from Kuwait. We also have Ali Al Salim Air Base, major transit point. Bahrain is home of the U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet. And in Jordan, a major U.S. Air Force presence. From a lot of our viewers, we've been focusing primarily on the Navy over the last 4 months of this war. There's a large U.S. Air Force presence, certainly here in Israel and also next door in Jordan as well, John.
Lucas Tomlinson. Lucas, thank you.
So Slim, everybody in the chat saying that they think it's going to be a ground war, and then some people saying it's never going to be a ground war. Do you think we go get troops on the ground?
I mean, the way it's going, I don't, see it being impossible, honestly. And to be G with you, this is a message that should have been out there day one. Like, we can't be thinking because, we American and we could still be traveling to these states that's got drama. Like that shit should have been, that's a message that's way late. Don't go to the Middle East. Like you way late on that one. Again, we at war. They talking about the casualties. And we got to remember when this war started, we killed like all their leaders. Like all of them. And we like, it's 3 people that got hurt. Nah, this is war. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to happen consistently as long as this war is going on. So at the end of the day, this is where we are. Nobody's safe right now, and don't be running around in the Middle East. I don't think no Middle Eastern dudes is planning on coming over here to watch the damn World Cup. I don't think there's no brothers over there like that. They got smoked. They ain't coming over here. Same thing,
So Laura said that it makes us look weak because if we don't do a ground war, it's like we basically just wasted our time. Do you feel that way? Like we have to win, or do you feel like we can just walk away and we'll still look strong?
Oh no, we can't walk away from shit. We have to win. I don't think we'll look weak, but the reality is we gotta win. You know what I mean? But America looking weak is definitely not in my focus because
Central Command in charge of all U.S. forces in the Middle East that chew some of the aftermath we've seen from Kuwait. This ramp up of the war, John, really started on July 7th, last week, when President Trump attended the NATO summit in Ankara. Iran attacked 3 commercial ships transiting the Strait of Hormuz. One was from Saudi Arabia, 2 others from the United Arab Emirates. That brought the first wave of strikes on back-to-back nights. I'm told that a third strike was planned. That night it didn't happen. And then since then, we've seen 7 consecutive nights of strikes. The Iranians tonight are saying they launched this missile strike at the base in Jordan in retaliation for President Trump ordering attacks on Iranian bridges and airports. We've seen many drone attacks on Gulf allies in recent days. Dozens of drones have been fired at Kuwait, hitting that desalination plant and power plant in Kuwait. We've also seen Tomahawk cruise missiles being fired from Guided missile destroyers, as you see here, and F-18 Super Hornets being launched from the USS George H.W. Bush and the Abraham Lincoln. As the war has been ramped up once again, and the memorandum of understanding has been effectively scrapped, President Trump said in Ankara last week that the ceasefire is over. Iran seems to be matching the U.S. They're trying tit for tat. So as the U.S. forces continue to strike targets ashore, Iran is ramping up its strikes on bases in the region, particularly where there are.
There was also.
So, yeah, they just seem to be going back and forth, strike for strike. I mean, it's pretty much crazy. But with one of the situations, and Nora was actually telling me about this too, is the water supply. Did you hear about this, Slim, about them hitting the water supply?
Nah.
Okay, I'm gonna let you hear it.
So Iranian strike on civilian infrastructure. That's according to the Kuwaitis. They said a power plant, desalination plant was hit. There was a significant damage. The authorities have come out and advised people to use less electricity. This is quite significant because in this region now is the summer. The temperatures can go up to 50 degrees. So people need a lot of electricity. They need the desalination plant. Most of almost half of the water that people consume in Kuwait come from desalination plant. This has become a trend since America strikes Iran. Iran retaliates by striking countries in the region. There was also
So Slim, like hearing like the water supply is affected. I know it's like war, but you know, with civilians, you know, now the water supply is affected. Do you feel like, you know, because it was like, I think it hit Dubai. It's other places that's getting hit with these like Middle Eastern countries at war.
Again, we at war. You can't be surprised on what's attacked, rules of engagement. A lot of that shit go out the window. You know what I mean? And ego steps in. You know what I'm saying? So we dealing with testosterone right now because to be G with you again, if they were smart, they would have been back down long time ago. But I think there's something more, or they have something that they got planned or something. I don't know. I just think by them not backing down, it's just making me think a little bit more hard about this shit.
Skeptic, do you think we're going to have a ground war in Iran? I don't think she can hear me.
You're on mute.
Who, me?
Nah, Skeps.
All right, I'm going to play this.
As the war with Iran blows up and cools down from week to week, one trend is clear. The biggest beneficiary of this conflict is China. Beijing did not have to fire a shot, spend vast sums, or use up political capital, but it has gained more from this crisis than any other in 3 decades. The war accelerated 3 of China's long-held goals: a Middle East less dependent on America, a world more dependent on critical Chinese technology, and a reputation for Beijing as a serious and steady world power. Beijing has not tried to replace Washington as the Middle East military guarantor. That would require expensive commitments. Its aim has been simpler and more subtle: get Gulf states to detach somewhat from.
Slim, how do you feel about China benefiting from like everything and like giving stuff to Iran? Do you feel like China's one of the big players in this?
What's new? Ever since we were children, everything was made in fucking China. Like, they gonna benefit.
I mean, Iran's economy is
forever. You know what I mean? Long as they involved with anything, China benefits. From COVID to today to back then. China gets it in. They get that paper. They were the only country making money during COVID. Like, out of all fucking countries, China had the highest GDP. How? Had to get their masks from China.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, they're saying Marco Rubio was saying
They have the
Iran's
ability.
a rich country.
300% inflation, particularly on life-sustaining goods. They have dwindling
I can't
revenue.
really hear him. Yeah, he sound like he outside for real.
Skeptic, can you hear us now?
She on mute.
All right.
Oh, nah, now it's not muted, but we can't hear you.
To defend the nest, and they have the ability to defend themselves against conventional missiles. There's no clear defense against a hypersonic missile. The Iranians have them. They've purchased them from the Chinese. They've also purchased them from the Russians. Well, we're not sure that we can defend against an Iranian supersonic missile. We've all studied the Gulf of Tonkin. We've all studied 9/11. We've all studied Pearl Harbor. If the Iranians actually do sink an aircraft carrier, you're right. It's World War III. Because the Israelis are going to jump in immediately. The Israelis are itching to use nuclear weapons, especially against Iran. They have.
Yeah, so I feel like that's the big issue with a lot of people. A lot of people don't want to see Iran with nuclear weapons. They don't want to see them with these hypersonic weapons. So that seems to be like the big concern. And I feel like that's actually a bipartisan thing, that everybody doesn't want to see Iran with these weapons.
That's the whole reason he went to war. Like, this is the reason that we fighting. You know what I mean? We can't worry about it now. He was trying to put y'all on back then. You know what I mean? And, here we are. We don't know how strong they've gotten during the years based on the time we've ignored and not taken action. Like, this is the first time we've taken action on Iran in a long time. You know what I mean? So we don't know, based on technology today, you got the young brodies coming up with their mentalities. They coming in making different type of explosives. You don't know what's cracking with these dudes, man. They out there just putting bombs on their family, coming to the airport, chilling. Like, they gangster like that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't on that level.
I agree with you on that. I want to ask you about one of your boys that got arrested. You know what I'm talking about?
States a request from the U.S.
So much shit going on. I probably heard about it.
decade ago. So this past Saturday, U.S. Marshals arrested.
Sound keep going on.
Others were on their way to a boxing event when taking vacations dating back over a decade ago. So this past Saturday, U.S. Marshals arrested Andrew and Tristan Tate in Miami on behalf of British authorities. The brothers were on their way to a boxing event when taken into custody. Now, the Tate brothers, who hold dual U.S. and British citizenship, reportedly spent significant time there growing up in the U.K. They already face more than 20 sexual offense charges brought by the UK's Crown Prosecution Service in 2024. And now prosecutors are bringing additional charges, including rape, sex trafficking, and offensive involving alleged indecent images of child.
38 new charges in total have now been authorised against Andrew and Tristan Tate, bringing the total number of charges faced to 59. The charges relate to 7 victims spanning a period from 2010 to 2017.
These latest allegations are the newest chapter in a years-long international legal battle. The brothers moved to Romania about a decade ago, but were arrested in 2022 on separate human trafficking and rape allegations. They denied those accusations. The case hasn't moved forward. Last year, they left Romania and flew to Florida. Their attorney spoke to reporters this morning, remaining confident in their innocence.
We think these charges are salacious and defamatory charges, but in multiple courts of competent jurisdictions across the world, in the United States, Romania, they have consistently been found innocent.
And their attorney tells Fox News this morning that it's unlikely the Tate brothers will be released today. He expects a series of hearings to play out as a federal judge begins.
So Slim, were you a part of the red pill movement?
I don't know what that is, bro. Is that short for common sense movement? I mean, I don't know. You got to put me on. I don't know.
Okay, so with Andrew Tate, it's a little bit different because with Andrew Tate, he's kind of like doing the masculinity thing. And I was watching Sneeko video, and he was talking about these brothers being two black guys going to Romania and then them pimping out European women in a country where they felt like it was a third world country and they could get away with pimping. So, like, how do you feel about that?
It sounds like the same old stories that my boys tell me when they go to the Dominican Republic. I just don't get why they keep messing with these dudes, bro. Like, at the end of the day, it's all just trying to embarrass them, you know, put them in shame, make the media or the people believe what the media is trying to say about these dudes. I mean, they've been messing with him, what, 3-4 years now? You know, probably more than that. He already got out the last time. Now they bringing him back in. So if there's something to be said or something that's basically to be proven, yo, let the brothers fry where they need to be. But right now, this is all allegations, and it seems like the same shit. If they guilty, lock them up. If they not guilty, leave them the fuck alone. Let them live their life, bro.
Skeptic, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Do you know the whole thing going on with Andrew Tate?
No, I haven't heard about it.
All right, I'm going to play the clip again.
In the United States are expected to challenge a request from the UK to extradite them over sexual offense allegations dating back over a decade ago. So this past Saturday, U.S. Marshals arrested Andrew and Tristan Tate in Miami on behalf of British authorities. The brothers were on their way to a boxing event when taken into custody. Now, the Tate brothers, who hold dual U.S. and British citizenship, reportedly spent significant time there growing up in the UK. They already face more than 20 sexual offense charges brought by the UK's Crown Prosecution Service in 2024. And now prosecutors are bringing additional charges, including rape, sex trafficking, and offensive involving alleged indecent images of child.
38 new charges in total have now been authorized against Andrew and Tristan Tate, bringing the total number of charges faced to 59. The charges relate to 7 victims spanning a period from 2010 to 2017.
Notice how they got a woman to read that?
After in a years-long international legal battle, the brothers moved to Romania about a decade ago, but were arrested in 2022 on separate human trafficking and rape allegations. They denied those accusations. The case hasn't moved forward. Last year, they left Romania and flew to Florida. Their attorney spoke to reporters this morning, remaining confident in their innocence.
We think these charges are salacious and defamatory charges, but in multiple courts of competent jurisdictions across the world, in the United States, Romania, they have consistently been found innocent.
And their attorney tells Fox News this morning that it's unlikely the Tate brothers will be released today. He expects a series of hearings to play out as a federal judge begins to decide if they will stay in the U.S. or be extradited to the UK.
Skeptic, what's your thoughts on the whole Andrew Tate situation? Like I was telling Slim, and I asked you the same question. I watched Sneeko. I don't know if you know about Sneeko, but he was talking about Andrew Tate and his brother, and they're two black men going to Europe, and they're pimping out young white women. And they did a whole book on basically how to like pimp women, and like you have like a bottom woman, you make the girl fall in love with you, and then you go out and then you go get other women. What's your thoughts on that?
He's a modern day pimp is what he is. And I think the thing that's very interesting to me, I don't know if you guys remember that there was like a viral video that a girl had released where he was chasing her with a belt and like telling her to open the door. What's interesting to me is that people will show you who they are. The guy made money off of teaching boys that he called simps how to be men. Like the man's gonna make money however it is that he can. And if it's like those hustlers, like, you know, if you ever grew up in like new people, there's people that will lie to you and will take your money from you. They'll take your lunch money and will literally convince you to give it to them. That type of person you cannot trust to do, you know, righteous things. I don't know why people think that Andrew Tate is a good person. He has shown you over and over that if he can't take advantage of a person, he will. The modern day, the pimps were not good guys. Pimps were guys that were using women's bodies to become rich and had them seduced or whatever kind of mental thing they were doing to them to keep them working and using their bodies for their profit. Just think about that. This man is the modern pimp, is what he did. He literally, by his own admission, has come on podcasts. He's not that smart because he's told us what he did and how he used women. He had a house where he kept women and made them like, or gave them the choice. I don't know which one he claimed, to make videos and make money. And he took a percentage off of what they were making. That's, you know, very similar to what pimps were doing. And when you're in another nation, same thing like what happened in Colombia, you know that those countries have respect for Americans. So you know that you get leeway because you're an American. That's why these American guys go off to Colombia and go off to these other, because they know they're not going to be held accountable the way they would here in America.
For sure, for sure. And I'm gonna pull up the clip that Skeptic was talking about. This is Andrew Tate assaulting the girl. Slim, what's your thoughts on Andrew Tate after seeing that?
Man, I seen that clip before. And, you know, like I said, they should have got him back then. You know, at the end of the day, all this shit that be coming up, it's an attack on masculinity. Tell people this shit all the time. And it's been like that, say about a good 10 years. You can see it in the shows. You can watch the shows. There's always some simp ass dude that's got to bow down and feel, you know, on some feminine, you know, feelings and got to worry about what he say. Like anybody that stands their ground, especially a man today, they're going to be fucking castrated. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. I've seen it, and I've seen it multiple times. The only time a masculine man is needed is when someone is in distress. They always call the masculine man with a pistol at that moment. Other than that, masculinity just sucks.
You know, you have to take into consideration that that's somebody's daughter that he was treating like that, right? Like you look at it differently whenever it's like, oh, this is a person that you actually view as like a co-equal. And so one thing that I think is interesting is the movement, what is socially acceptable as far as femininity and masculinity. Back in the day, in the 50s and 60s, it was okay to slap your wife across the face if she was talking and you felt like she offended you. For the majority of society, people wouldn't get into it. But in 2026, we have advanced as a society and we understand that that's not okay. Same thing with the way the parents used to treat their kids. You used to be able to just beat your child outside, nobody cared. They wouldn't get into it because it was y'all's business. And now society has advanced and we know that that's no longer acceptable. I don't think that it takes away from masculinity to ask for men to be more emotionally aware and to not act like assholes and treat women with more respect. It doesn't take away from you being a man. It just kind of advances us as far as society goes. You can still be a masculine man. I haven't heard anyone say like, you cannot be a masculine man. You have to be feminine. You got to paint your nails. You know, that's not really happening. It's just that society is asking more of men to be more respectful when it comes to women and maybe not call them, what did he call them? 304s and hoes and all. But then at the same time, those are the women that are making you rich. How are you going to call them hoes? But then the hoes made your money. That's why you're a millionaire. You know?
Oh, basically, it's a double standard for women.
No, I don't think that you can beat someone because you're angry at them because she was doing what you asked her to do.
Right. So, all right. The beating thing, I'm not even going to highlight that. You did. First off, I wasn't even talking about the beating thing. What I'm stating is there's an attack on masculinity, and everything you stated pretty much proves my point. Today, we live in a society where everything bad is glorified. The same way you could say that someone's daughter, I got a daughter, right? When I see twerking, every damn video on your phone is twerking. That's okay. You know what I mean? That's fine. A girl shaking their ass, but when things happen sexually or, you know, things that go down in those environments, oh, that person's wrong, or this guy shouldn't have been doing that, or whatever the case may be. We have strayed so far away from the Bible. Back in the days, we actually live a lot better as husband and wives, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters. Today, it's all fucked up. So something happened that shouldn't have happened between then and now. And I believe is because they got rid of the original man, the nuclear family, man, woman, child. Now, if you identify as a woman, you got more rights than an actual man in today's society. That's fucked up.
Well, I think what's interesting about what you're saying is like if you actually look at the Old Testament, which you're talking about the original Torah, which you know the Bible is basically derived from. If you look at the stories in the Bible, you had a daughter-in-law that slept with her father-in-law to get pregnant from him because she wanted his seed. You have brothers and sisters marrying each other. In the story of David, his son fell in love with his daughter and literally wanted to rape her or did rape her. And then after that, he hated her guts. This is in the Bible, the Old Testament. So I don't necessarily think that there are new things that are happening that haven't happened before. Even if you want to speak biblically, we have seen perverted people in the Bible too. I don't think that having more or asking for more respect as far as women go and being, you know, treated with more equity or inclusion necessarily means you take away from a man. You can still be a man and we can still ask for respect as far as women go. And it's not a hatred on men. It's just that just because someone is twerking, it doesn't give you the ability to go over there and take over her body. That's the only argument we're making. Can you make an argument against twerking maybe not being the most acceptable thing in society? Maybe it's not. And if you go to the country club, you're not going to see people twerking. So I think it's like if you obviously bad things are going to happen, but it doesn't make it acceptable for you to act unruly because someone else is showing their body. Like the main argument there. And I don't think the Bible has anything to do with it. I don't think the nuclear family has much to do with it either, because if you look as far as demographics go, you look at the white community, they tend to have their mom and dads, right? Can we agree that white people tend to have the nuclear family more often than people of color? You see mass shooters that are white more than you do mass shooters that are not white. You see more white men are out here producing child pornography and attacking women than men that are not white. So it doesn't seem to me that a nuclear family is going to stop a predator from being a predator.
Well, see, that's when we start driving down these roads. I don't know how you be getting down these roads, but I don't worry about race in any situation. I believe in right and wrong. At the end of the day, it's wrong to put your hands on anyone, whether it be a man or a woman, depending on the situation, unless you're protecting yourself. But what I'm stating is today's society, there's a lot of situations that I've seen as well as experience where a man don't even got to be disrespecting a female. The disrespect comes from the female anyway. And as a man in today's society, anything we say can be disrespecting the female. So we're always going to be on that, or like walking on glass because of being a man or being masculine. Anything that we react to, it's considered toxic. That's crazy to me. But now we got little boys that want to be just like their mother, wearing tight pants and fingernails. That's the problem. Just saying. A real man just don't be allowing that.
But see, and I can see that maybe some people can be very offensive to men when they talk about certain things because the system has made it to where men have always benefited from certain things when we talk about society. But when you talk about the little boys that are wearing their mom's dresses and wearing their mom's fingernails, that has always existed. That existed prior to me being born. That is not we are progressing, therefore we're creating that. Maybe we are saying that we should not judge people because they want to wear their mother's fingernails, but I'm pretty sure that we all grew up seeing that we knew that guy, he was different. He liked to hang around with the girls. He had a little bit more sass in the way he talked and he walked. And that was existing during our times. This is not anything that's new. It's just the way that society is reacting to them, that we're saying we should not just hate them because they look different and they act different. We should allow them to be normal people. And as far as society goes, not judge them before we get to know them.
So you consider it normal?
I mean, it existed. I don't know. I think normality is maybe subjective, depending on like, well, I may call something normal. I may have grown up in my family's household where we scream in my household, and in your household, they didn't scream. So subjectively, by my bias, which I have, I have lived through my experience, screaming inside of the house is normal. And you may not see it as normal because in your family, they talk very with low, temperaments. They didn't get too hyped up. So what's normal to me may not be normal to you. It's what society now deems to be more. We should not mistreat people just because they're different.
I agree with that in general statements because mistreating people has nothing to do with what I'm saying. Because again, do unto others as they do to you. Don't mistreat nobody. Let's just start there. I don't know how you get down that road, but I'm not talking about in the form of mistreating. What I'm trying to share with you is, yeah, I can't say the mistreating, but not in the way you're stating. I'm saying for men. Men are mistreated on a daily basis. Now, you just said we have benefited more in society. Let me explain. If something is burning or they're shooting or anything, a real man or somebody expects that man to run to the fire. That's what we do. As men, we would run to the fire. If we beta, we hiding or we pushing you in the fire, in the children. Men in general, just who we are. We have to protect. That's just who we are. I can't explain it. You know what I mean? Like if I'm walking down the road and I see somebody arguing with their woman, I might say something. It might not be none of my business. But the fact that he's arguing with her is a problem because no man shouldn't be arguing with no woman in public. That's whack. Now, I would get chastised because some beta dude would be like, hey, ain't none of your business, man. Stay out of their business. That's a punk. Because now you got this woman in situation, you don't even know what's going on. And we're not equal because that man could hurt her at any given moment. He could still be a man even though he's acting like a beta. I'm just saying, man, we get treated wrong a lot. Y'all might not see it that way, but it's a lot of things in today's society that these women are doing to today's men that's mentally taking them over the bridge.
I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with you. I think you make some valid points when you talk about like maybe the pressure that society puts on men and the responsibility that men may feel as far as, providing and maybe having the the pressure to protect their family. I can see it from that perspective. And I mean, yeah, I can see that. You have a different norm that you have to uphold, right, as far as society goes. But I don't necessarily believe that the moving forward of women is taking away anything from men. Like if I'm asking for fair pay as a woman, it's not going to hurt you as a man. Your pay is not going to go down because I'm asking to be paid fair wages. Like just because women get more rights, it doesn't mean that we have to stomp the men out. Men can continue to be providers and protectors and feel like, they have to tell us what it is that they don't necessarily see acceptable. And I think we should hear them out. We should hear men out as women. But my equality does not mean I take anything from you. And I think that it correlates to race. This is how white people look at it. The equality of any person of color not being disenfranchised by the very system that they uphold doesn't take away from your whiteness, right? I'm just asking to be treated fairly. If society deems that you have to protect me because I'm a woman and I'm not, whatever thing they argue, maybe that's a societal thing that we should argue for men. And there are advocacy groups for men. There are people that are, asking for men to have, when it comes 50-50, when it comes to like what they have like with their children, right? And that type of thing I actually agree with. I do think that there are certain things that men do get don't get the benefit of the doubt, right? The majority of the time. Just because you're a woman, sometimes you default get certain things. So I agree with certain parts of that. But the equality aspect of what women are asking for doesn't necessarily mean we hate a man, if that makes any sense.
And I agree with that, but here's the thing, right? I want you to understand one thing that I will say is nobody in their right mind wants a woman to not succeed, right? Like everybody should succeed, whether they're a woman, man, doesn't matter, right? Whatever you put your mind to, you should be in the level of success. That should be your thought process. I don't care what color you are, none of that matters to me again. But I just believe that, the whole equality thing, there's levels to it. Mentally, I think a man could be everything, like the mental aspect, the logic, the psychological, all the thought process. But when it comes to the physical, when it comes to even taking the box of cereal and putting it up there because she's too short to put it up there, just things like that, it's just more to it, to whereas we know how to handle this part and we understand that you know how to handle this part. We're never going to belittle who you are because you're a woman, but we do understand that the equality thing, there's levels to it. We are equal, but to an extent. So if there's a job that we're doing and it's a physical thing, and I know I can physically make this happen, and she thinks she could make it happen physically, but the reality is, she shouldn't be getting them extra $2 an hour because she physically can't do this. But but on the flip side, if she had to come and get busy with the computer and get to typing, and he can't, they go to $2 an hour, he taking the L on. So be it. That's all I'm saying is just levels to it.
Well, that brings us to a good point because Stefan Diggs has a male sexual assault accuser, and this is what he had to say.
I know everyone's been talking about, the drama between you and Stefan. I mean, how did you guys get to this point?
Differences of opinion, refusal to tell the truth, an obligation to myself and children that bear my name, and a responsibility that I hold very near and dear to my heart. So I got to walk this down. Justice for CB.
Okay.
Fact.
I know. So
Dad first.
I mean, what do you think about, Stefan saying you're lying? I mean, what do you have to say to that?
I don't know why liars lie, but if a liar told me I was lying, I wouldn't believe him.
I mean, okay. Well, I mean, any words for Cardi? I mean, she kind of jumped into the mess.
A liar told her I was lying and she believed it. Unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, but in reality, like, I feel like, how many kids were born last year with the last name Diggs? Yeah. A plethora? Yeah. He can't be telling all the truth. Okay. I don't think she would have signed up for that.
That's true.
Yeah,
true.
It's a fact.
I know. I mean, do you think that there's any coming back for this like friendship with you guys, or like is this just completely done? Like, I'm just curious. Like, how did this get to this point?
When I tried to give him a pass a couple years ago, thinking that it was something that he would apologize for and move on past, he kind of gave me his ass to kiss, which is why we're operating in the realm of litigation that exists currently. Yeah.
I know. I mean, how do you feel about going into court about this whole situation? How do you think it's going to play out?
Well, in the regard of court, I feel validated. I feel vindicated. I feel like the truth is going to shine bright. I feel like for what they did to me, especially here in LA, May 29th at my residence. Yeah, when I say somebody got to pay, I ain't talking financial. Like, justice really got to be executed within full form. So somebody got to go. Somebody got to be held responsible. I tell you like that. And it's not a dollar amount that could change my mind. If it's up to me, this case is tried before a judge and jury, and I can't wait for that day.
Okay, so what do you have to say to people that think that maybe this is a whole cash grab situation? I mean, it feels like for you, it's more than that, right? It's.
I'm not worried about no money. I'm not worried about no money. I never demanded a dollar amount. I'm not demanding a dollar. Yeah, come on. Do it look like I'm worried about money?
Slim, how do you feel about the allegations about what he's saying?
What is he saying? I don't even know what he's saying. Tell us, Slim. I think you know.
Basically, this is the product of exactly what we were talking about. This is exactly what we get when we allow that bullshit to take place. Lack of fatherhood, all that. Man, Brody is mad because it sounds like some dick in the booty action. And he's basically accusing Stefan Diggs of basically being gay with him, and Stefan ain't admitted it. And he like, I don't want no money for it. And basically he just trying to ruin his reputation, something that a female would do. You understand? This is exactly what this is what you create. Niggas like this. This is a problem right there.
I mean, maybe they were in love. Maybe he did him wrong, and he's like, "You got to pay because you lied." There's a lot of down low guys that just can't, because they're not accepted that they're down low.
You know
they can't be who they want to be.
How many women would want to talk to this dude and have no clue he swing that back?
I mean,
it would be like, "Oh, look at this nigga! Bring him to the house and all that." Come to find out, he dick in the booty.
but in the inverse, men love women that are bisexual. Like, it is acceptable in one way, but men here, this is men's rights right here, Slim. Men should be accepted for whatever it is that they want to do. That should be in men's right. If they want to swing that way, they should have the right to do that. Women are more accepted in society if they like both women and men. It seemed like ooh, that's awesome that she goes either way with whoever.
So you think he should have the same vibe as the sexual assault case as a female should? That's basically what you're telling me.
I don't know what he's arguing, actually. I don't know the details. So he's saying that. So wait, he's saying that he didn't want to be with Stefan Diggs and he forced himself on him?
It seems like they did it before, and then he's told him no one time, and then he sexually assaulted him. And now he's fronting like he's lying. Like, oh no, I don't go that way. But he like, basically, I'm going to tell the world you go that way. That's basically what it is.
I mean, if you force yourself on a person, you're wrong, period, point blank. You shouldn't be forcing yourself. It doesn't matter if you're a man or woman. If he did do that and he has, so is this in civil litigation? So this is in like civil court?
I don't know. I just know that real Brodies, real men, we ain't even trying. We don't care. we should even be knowing what's going on between y'all two. See, women gonna care about, oh, he should get his rights and he should go to jail because he touched them, girl. That's how y'all gonna think. Men, we gonna be like, that nigga gay for real, yo.
I mean, I don't think it's a man or woman thing. I think you should have rights. I think nobody should be being assaulted, like whether you're a man or woman. I mean, if that's the question, are you lying or is it true? But to be honest with you, if it's in civil court, if it's not criminal, this isn't a criminal case, you don't have to prove it to the extent, like to the criminal extent, the way you do in civil court. So if this is in civil court, he has a good chance of winning, actually. If he can prove like even a little bit of what he's arguing, he could get some money off of Stefan Diggs. Seriously. I don't know if people know that.
For money. He said he don't want the money.
So is this a criminal case or is this a civil case? That's my question. Because I think that's how you would know. The proof has to be a little bit more like secure in a criminal case than it does in a civil case, if that makes any sense.
You're proving my point, Skep. You just as confused as we are as men. That's what be going down.
I mean,
I'm trying to tell you, we don't know.
I don't put it past anybody. I'll say that. I don't put it past Stefan Diggs. I don't put it past anyone to be a predator. Like I believe people. So if you can prove it, then you can prove your case in court.
We'll see what happens. But I mean, if Stefan Diggs is gay, it's not going to be a good look, is all I'm saying.
Well, Cardi B called him a light-skinned lizard. the accuser.
The light-skinned lizard and all of the above. God bless her. She spoke about the fact that I got a son. And I honestly feel like that's projection to a certain degree because she shares a son with the individual whom I'm, going to court against, and she got to wear these allegations and her kid got to wear these allegations. But in reality, my face got stomped out. I almost did not make it home to my babies. And by way of God's grace and my strategic mind, I made it home. So why would I play these games in the regard of, oh, I'm going to get you on some street shit, or I'm going to get you how you want me to get you? It don't work like that. So what I do, I called the authorities. They dragged their feet. Eventually, they heard me. I got representation, and here we are. And I'm going to have my day in court where the truth will shine bright in front of a judge and jury, and then we'll revisit and have proper conversations in that regard.
Okay. I saw the videos that you posted on Instagram with the robbery and all of that.
Yeah.
So are you saying that he was behind this, that he set this whole thing up?
That's my belief. That's my belief. And I believe that a judge and jury with the proper evidence and discovery will be able to see it the way that I saw it.
Were you able to get his phone records?
Yeah, with the text messages.
With the text messages, were investigators able to come up with that? Because there's got to be a text thread of somebody telling somebody something.
I think that when trial begins,
okay, you can't say everything.
So there wasn't no sexual assault; it was just assault.
Yeah, so they robbed
What are
him.
you doing like mentally?
How do we get to
Like,
sex from robbing?
We went from Andrew Tate to this. I'm thinking he got sexual assaulted too. That's how you segued it, bro. What the fuck?
Hey, this is going viral right now. This is going viral.
So he got beat up and he got robbed.
Yeah,
This is what it sounded like. He ain't
he
getting
got stomped out.
nothing to do with sexual assault at all.
No, he said he got sexual assaulted. Hey, look, here you go right here. I got you right here.
Starts doing his thing, and as he's doing his thing, I'm like, yo, bro, settle down. Like, what the fuck, you that horny? Like, you can't get yourself together till you get in the house. And as he's touching on himself and feeling on himself and like talking through what he's about to do when he walk in the house and how pretty much basically saying how horny and sexually stimulated he is in like street lingo, pulls his man out, starts to play with himself. And I'm telling him, yo, bro, keep your composure. I'm trying to laugh it off because I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why you put that up? Like, what are you doing? And he reach over to me like, man, come on. And he got his thing in his hand. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? And he trying to like laugh. And I put that shit up. And he put it up. We get out the car. As we're walking, it's very uncomfortable to talk about. As we're walking toward the door, he put his arm around me. Oh, Lord. And he said, man, come to my room. And he put his put his tongue in my ear, like doing some weird shit. Walk into the house, spiral staircase leads directly to his bedroom. He goes up the staircase, I make a right. It's a very long hallway. I speed walk down this hallway, damn near run down this hallway, but not like I'm running for my life. I'm trying to keep things low. I go to the bathroom, I'm trying to process my way out. How the fuck do I get out of here? Clearly this is an overstepping boundary. I've never seen him in this light before, but I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like, man, you just gonna have to go out here and fight your way out if you have to.
So it was a sexual assault.
So I think he's saying that he came on to him. So isn't Stefan Diggs too the one that had like hit up a T woman, and then he said that he didn't, and she had DMs on him? Is he one of? I thought he was one of the football players too that had got caught talking to a woman that belonged to the trans community, which I think is interesting. Again, because some people can be down low, but because they know that it's not acceptable and they're going to be judged for it, then they shoot their shot at the wrong time. So I don't know if he was sexually assaulted, but it seemed like he came on to him. And I don't know. He said it was hard to talk about, but it didn't seem like it was too hard. Like
That should sound consensual. He was like, I told him to put it up. What the fuck you mean, bro? Like, how you get from put it up to tongue in your ear? Like, how you get your arm, like, how you get there? Like, yo, bro, you wanted this. You know what I mean? You should have been on the news that day. It would have been on the news. Stefan Diggs almost got killed trying some bullshit last week at the, it would have came out. Look how he told that story. I don't feel too comfortable talking about this, but he just went on. New in detail. What's up? Come on, bro. This is what I'm saying, man. Like, this is the type of stuff that we are dealing with in these streets, man. And whether that story is true or not, the fact that he has the confidence to tell it to the person he's telling it to is enough for me. I'm cool.
The craziest part to me about the whole thing is that he said he has a son. Stefan Diggs got all these kids. They got all these kids running around, and they got this soap opera, gay drama going on. But sometimes they say the guys that at the toughest be the gayest ones.
That's crazy.
Have you been to Atlanta? Like, I'm just saying. When I first went to Atlanta, I was like, damn. I mean, I have nothing against it. I was just impressed that I saw some like big old dudes. I'm talking huge guys. And they were with their boyfriends, and I was like, oh, I love it. That's awesome. I was just impressed. I've never seen it in the South.
You know where they come from? They come from jail. That's what happened. That's what happens. That's the product. Crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. Like, but Skep did right. Like, Atlanta's like the gay capital, and I feel like with websites, with social media and things like that, and like the pride parades, like it's easy for them to have access. Like Stefan Diggs wasn't just sleeping with him; he was sleeping with his chef. He was cheating with Cardi B in front of him with the chicks on the boat. He was wilding out. He was just a wild playboy. Like, when he said he was horny, I was like, yeah, I guess it's true, because he was doing all this wild stuff. Like, who gets a chef and just had a chef in there, and then she lived, I don't know if she was living in the house, and then you mess with the chef too?
She was a female though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that he's wild. Of course, the gay stuff is atrocious. I'm just saying that.
But we can't act like we don't know these celebrities, bro. The dude who work at Taco Bell got hoes, bro. We can't act like we don't know what's popping. This is where we are. Now we talk about a young dude with money. Just imagine if he listened to Drake. That's all Drake talking about, how many girls he plays every album. It's the same song.
I don't think it necessarily has to do with like socioeconomics. Like, I think that if he's attracted to men, he's just attracted to men. It's just how his attraction is. You know what I mean? And I think that as a society, if we would be a little bit more understanding of people and who they're attracted to and like to respect it, especially when it comes to athletes. Like, there's still a stereotype. If you're an athlete, like, there's no way that you can like men, but you would be surprised. Some people have to hide who they are because of that, because they know they're going to be judged if they come out, and they're going to be, just because. And here's the thing: when I was in high school, the most attractive guy in our high school was gay, and all the girls liked him, and he did not like any girl. He was a mixed guy with like green eyes. He was so like, wow, he looked very different, and it ended up that he didn't like girls, and that's like, it doesn't necessarily make you have to date a woman. He can be bisexual. Like, that could be what his, how he is sexually. Like, he goes both men and women. It's the disrespect to your friend who didn't feel comfortable, and you're coming on to him and you're being like super strong on him. That's not acceptable. Or you robbing him because he's going to come out and out you. That's wrong.
True. I think it's just like with the guys, especially if it was taken, it just is, the image is just worse in your mind, just a thought process. But this was a great show. We talked about a lot, but if you're watching right now, hit that subscribe button and press that notification bell. Know we go live. Skeptic, what's your final thoughts?
Yeah, I will say to Latinos, we are out protesting. I know Houston had a huge protest. I know there's a lot going on with the Iran war that's currently going on. I know the conflict is starting to stir up again, and things are probably going to get expensive again. But just know that there are a lot of Latinos that are out here advocating for Latin America that is being attacked by ICE. We're asking for the abolishment of ICE. So just stay safe if you don't have to go out. If you can go out with a partner, someone who knows you, and always record. If anyone, police officer, ICE agent approaches you, remember that you need to record so you can keep yourself safe.
For sure. Slim, what's your final thoughts?
Oh man, I don't think Latinos are advocating. I think they out getting lit because Spain won the World Cup yesterday. So whatever skeptic talk about, drink on, Spain. Congratulations. But yeah, it was a great show. Welcome back, Gray. Finally back on set.
For sure.
New track out. Go Harder. I'm getting a lot of love on it. Go Harder. Streaming now, all platforms. Welcome back to the Man Cave.
For sure. Shout out to Slim and Skeptic. Thank y'all for showing up. We're going to keep watching the war. We'll keep you guys updated on that. I think Andrew Tate already is out. So if there was more information on that, we'll talk about that. Slim was disgusted with the whole Stefan Diggs thing, but that was wild. But that went viral. But Man Cave, we do this every Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Have a good night.
Sisters, we shall not yield to tyranny. Our cause just, we will prevail. The fight for our rights. Buffs. Ready for a journey back? Look at this encampment. The spirit of 76 is alive.
Bobby, at this point, shame on you. Shame on you. Because we are being played as the American people. Our money is funding a war that we don't need to be in. I shouldn't be okay with it. So as long as I have breath in my body and a mic to use, I will be speaking out against this.
A true patriot savors these moments, but the fight for liberty calls.
The economy, we have a global economy. That's why we're a number one economy in the world. I know that a lot of people want to paint the horrible view of America, but, you know, go live somewhere else and then tell me America's bad.
Patriotism is all about. Look at these flags. They represent our fight for liberty. This is so freaking crazy to me that we have an conflict with Iran before a single person from the Epstein files has been arrested on American soil. The hour of liberty is at hand. For freedom is proper. Brothers and sisters.
I was working, man, you know, but it's good to see Rippy out there handling business, man. And again, hey, there's a lot of black Trump supporters, man. I mean, it feels good to see that, man. So
My fellow patriots, the hour of decision is upon us. Let us march forth with courage to secure our liberty.
A real quote. People are getting sick of it. The moment a celebrity steps slightly outside the leftist approved narrative, they get attacked. Chili from TLC gets heat over allegedly donating to Donald Trump.
For liberty. The British advance. We must act. Our supplies are low, but morale is high. Then we fight for liberty. Alpane's work captures the spirit of we fight for independence.
The Welcome to my that said they were anti-war. I think they said no new wars. Yeah, they voted for a president that was not going to start any new wars. And what's funny to me is that not only were you lied to, not only did this man start this and get out of the
freedom. Greetings from the encampment. The spirit of liberty is strong. We will fight for our rights and our freedom.
Just in order to get the Greater Israel Project accomplished, you have to kill people. That's why it's wrong. Killing people is wrong. Full stop. So you can try to make sense of it with, well, it's a threat and this and that. There's no greater threat than the United States empire.
Vocabulary up because I'm throwing out words like hubris, acquiesce, verbose. What are you going to do about the dichotomy of the nuance?
To the encampment, for liberty.
And what I've learned, and I'm not a liberal or a Democrat. I voted for Trump the first time, but he's become a politician. He lies like all the other politicians. He deceives like all the other politicians.
And for me.
Soldiers, the enemy is near.
Not only do I love my FBA fam, my Black American fam, my Black people on code, you know, my people that's allies with us, as part of the fam. I love y'all. I love my country too. You feel me?
The cause to victory.
To victory. These pastries are wonderful.
Indeed, but we must stay vigilant.